Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is CJ. Yes, I am back after a long hiatus. Let me tell y'all, life has just been life lately, and I have been in a little, funk, so to speak, but I'm back and I'm back with Love After Lockup. So before we get started, y'all already know, please go ahead and tap that subscribe button if you are new to this channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. And those of you who rock with me, no matter what, welcome back. I have missed you all. I'm back in the swing of things. I know I have been gone for so long, and a lot of y'all are probably like, dang, it's a ghost. Yeah, it's me. I'm back and I'm ready. I think, my head is in the game and I'm just ready to do this. So with that being said, let's get started. Now, this was season 3, episode 54, and they called this episode Put a Ring on It. Now, we're not going to go from least interesting to interesting. We just going to get the good stuff out of the way because y'all don't be here that long anyway. So I'm going to just go ahead and get that out the way. Now, we're going to start with Tia and Nicole. The Tia, Nicole, Deontay little threesome deal here. We see Tia and Nicole, and they're on a date. They meet at some cute little restaurant, which appears to be on some sort of pier. And this is their first time seeing each other after the whole little throuple conversation that they had a while ago, trying to convince Deontay to be a part of this polyamorous relationship where he and Tia basically both share Nicole. But Nicole's plan was to get as much money out of Deontay as she could. And Tia was cool with that. They were just going to go along with that plot and plan. But Deontay was just kind of like, nah, we need, am I going to be, screwing both of y'all? And Tia was not having that. She went completely off on him. They start arguing, damn near got to fighting. It was just a whole mess, but it didn't go as planned. So Nicole, I guess she kind of left Deontay alone, and because she knew Tia wasn't with it, so she left him alone. Anyway, Tia and her vape, they want to know from Nicole, where she sees them as far as like their future goes. Is she still on this whole Deontay, tip? Is he still going to be in the picture? And Nicole tries to assure her that, no, I want you. Everything is fine. We're, it's just going to be us. And she's thinking that Tia is going to break up with her because Tia is kind of asking her, she's just letting her know that she isn't really cool with what's been going on and she doesn't want to be a part of that. And Nicole is getting kind of scared because it kind of sounds like it's the beginning of like a breakup speech or whatever. But Nicole is trying to assure her that, no, I don't want Deontay. I don't want to hurt you. I want to be with you, XYZ. So they end up getting their food, and Tia confesses her love for Nicole, and Nicole is just completely smitten. Tia had on this little bow tie. She was giving me like a 12-year-old little boy getting ready for church vibes. She looked like one of the little boys at my church. But anyway, I guess that was the look she was going for, because the little bow tie, it was just a flapping, like it just looked so weird to me, but I guess it was cute nonetheless. Nicole always looks stinky to me. She just always has this thing about her where she just looks unclean almost. I can't describe it. And I don't know if it's just a combination of the nails and the tattoos or what she wears. I'm not sure, but she just always looks like she got like a little tinge to her. But anyway, they, go out. Tia takes her out to the water, takes her out to like the dock. It's like this dock. And she gets on one knee and she proposes to Nicole. She needed to know if Nicole was in it to win it, if, Nicole was completely down for her and nobody else, because she told Nicole she can't share her with anybody. And of course, Nicole says yes. But now Nicole is worried about what she's going to tell Deontay, because Deontay's been reaching out to her. He's been texting her and she hasn't been answering. I guess, because Tia doesn't want her to. So he doesn't know what's really going on, but she wants to get with him to tell him that she is now engaged, and I guess she's going to cut things off with him. So she goes to meet him. He's at work and he lets us know that he's gotten into like this financial bind because of Nicole. He has spent all this money on Nicole while she was in jail, and while she was out, he bought her all that stuff and was just dishing out cash left and right. So he put himself in a little bit of a financial strain. So he's been taking on secondary jobs to kind of catch up. So she comes out there to meet him, and he, was hard at work, all dirty and, looking like a working man should. And she, well, not necessarily should, but I guess in his line of work, I should say. And they go out to sit down because I guess it's his lunch break, and they're talking, and immediately they start arguing. He feels like she just kind of paid him dust after that meeting, and how she immediately took Tia's side when they came to meet, and they're going back and forth with one another. And she kind of flashes her hand around and he sees a ring. And so he wants to know, what is that? And she was like, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Let him know that, yes, Tia and I are engaged. And he immediately, like, you could just see his heart break before us on the camera. Like, his eyes start to water. He starts to cry. And for a second, I almost felt bad. Y'all, I don't have no sympathy for Deontay at all, because he got himself into this mess. But, even though I'm like, an emotional thug, when it comes to stuff like that, I still felt something for him in that moment. I was like, oh, he really had tears. I was like, oh, but anyway, then, I had to snap back to it. I was like, man, nah, get out of here. What you crying for? You ought to be praising, praising whoever, because she is out of your life. She's telling you that that's one bill that you don't have to worry about anymore. And so he tells us in his confessional that, oh, they ain't gonna last. He ain't worried about it. They're toxic for one another, and she'll be calling me within a few months. And so he feels like their marriage or whatever won't last, but we shall see. And then we have old Stan and Lisa. Now, we know Lisa was playing, I guess, detective or whatever on old Stan last week, where she set up the Facebook profile of the girl with the big tatas, and she got him to talking, and she discovers that, Stanley seems to be down, with the cheatery. Like, he's willing to cheat on her. So she claims that she's just so outraged by all of this. And so she's with her friend Renata that we saw come. And we learned that Renata used to date Lisa's brother, but I guess they got cool. And there were always, like, I guess, some feelings there. Lisa was feeling Renata and vice versa, but they never acted upon it. But, if given the opportunity, they probably would smash if they could. But she brings her up to speed. They go out to eat. She brings her up to speed on Stanley, and his online antics. And we also learned from Lisa that Stanley has let, what did she say the girl's name was? Courtney, the fake profile. Well, he let her know that, he is down for a threesome. He asked her, was she down for a threesome? So I'm guessing he was probably going to try to bring her in to the bedroom with him and Lisa, but she flips it around on him and asks him if he would be down for a threesome with another man, or would he sleep with another man? And he tells her that if that's her fantasy, then he would. Now, old Stanley got some kink about him. He got a lot of kink about him. I ain't gonna say a little. That old man, he's something else for himself. But they decide, well, Lisa decides that Stan has got to pay for trying to play her. So what she's gonna do, she took those wigs. Y'all remember those blonde wigs that he had bought her when she first got out of prison? Well, she has those, and she wants Renata, who has like fire pink hair, to put these on, or put one of them on, because she wants her to be the online chick and they're gonna set him up somehow. So I'm interested to see how this is gonna go, because I know Stan probably gonna flip out once he figures out what's going on, because Renata don't look shit like what that picture looked like, that profile picture. So we're gonna see what happens with that. Now, we also find out about this whole hair situation that Stanley has going on. Now, y'all know he got the dark something of another, swooped, the little swoop action. And then we got the salt and pepper gray ordeal, hitting around up in here. So he actually is his hair. All of it is his hair. He just dyes it that way. So it looks extremely odd. And he does that because one of his exes, I think he said her name was Teresa or something, she convinced this man that shit looks good. So Stanley, I guess he been rolling with it for years. And how Lisa gonna try and tell him that shit looks bad, it looks terrible, and she got that bullshit sitting up on top of her head? How that's the pot calling the kettle black? I was just like, girl, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere. But anyway, I look forward to seeing the foolishness that is afoot between them when they try to play this man with the wigs. But anyway, moving on to, I guess we'll get Puppy and Amber out the way. Now, Puppy comes to see Amber, and they're going to go out for drinks. She misses her girl, Amber is still feeling some kind of way for Sammy. I guess, she putting him out and everything. So she needs to unwind. So they're going to go out and do what they do best, drink. Now, Amber mentions to Puppy, that they need to go visit her mom. We remember her mom from the other season. Her mom's up in Indiana, and Puppy's kind of hesitant. She's like, man, my dude's not gonna let me go. And plus, I got some stuff that I need to work out here. And so she was like, what kind of stuff? And so she was like, I violated my probation. I violated, parole, basically. And so Amber's like, what happened? And so she tells her PO came to her mom's house to check on her, and a neighbor or somebody who knows Puppy told the PO that Puppy doesn't live there. Puppy, moved out with her boyfriend. And so she was in violation because she didn't get permission to move, first of all. And I don't know, the terms of that, but immediately they put a warrant out. So she got a warrant out for her arrest. And from what Puppy was saying, Amber, it's like an automatic 2 years for violating. So she was like, you really need to get this together. And Puppy doesn't really seem too pressed about it at the moment, because she's just trying to go out. And that's the irresponsible thing about, Puppy. Puppy seems to be a good friend, but when it comes to taking care of herself, she doesn't really seem to, do it. And this could get her in a lot of trouble. This could get her sent back to prison. And so Amber's like, you really need to take care of that. And so she was like, look, I ain't trying to think about that right now. Let's just go out. So they go out and they catch up with Quintavis. I think that was his name. And we remember Quintavis. He was like a part of like the crew, like her friends, like the black dudes that Amber and them hung out with. He also met Vince, and he wasn't really feeling Vince. He didn't really know what to think about Vince. So we remember seeing him, but they all get together at some little spot. It looks like some little lounge where they, were drinking and smoking hookah and just kind of catching up. And we know, once the drinks start flowing, we know how Amber gets kind of touchy and feely. And so she's dancing all up on Puppy, who normally would welcome it. But like Puppy knows that Amber's only gay when she's drunk. So she's not really feeling this. And plus she got a boyfriend now. So she can't really be having Amber all up on her like that. So anyway, they end up, going. I guess they're going to go home, and Amber's going to try and convince her to cuddle with her. But she says she's down for whatever Puppy is or isn't wanting to do. So that was the end of their story. So then we got John and Christiana. It's almost wedding time, and we still see Christiana freaking out because nobody can reach Tara. They're trying to call Tara. They're trying to see what's up. Tara's nowhere to be found. John is hoping that Tara doesn't show up because he called her and told her don't come. He doesn't want Christiana to be upset. He don't really need her energy interrupting what's supposed to be a beautiful day, which I don't really think it was his place to do because his bride wanted her sister there. She wanted her best friend to be a part of her day. So I don't think that was John's place to do, but he did it anyway. And apparently it works because Tara ain't nowhere to be found. So Mama is like, look, Christiana, you don't need to be focused on that right now. Can you do me a favor? Can you please just get down the aisle, get married, have your day, and we'll go look for Tara in the morning, if that will make you feel better. But right now, this needs to be, about you. This is your special moment. Don't let her ruin it. So Christiana's like, okay, I'm cool with that. So and side note, the two of them really do seem to be in love. It's just like this weird looking love, but it's love nonetheless. So, more power to them. And we got, I also find it odd that John has never met Christiana's son until this moment. And I guess it may just be because of the fast timeline, but I would think that you would introduce this man to your son, even though y'all aren't as close as y'all should be because, you gave him up and everything. But he loves you very much and still seems to be very much a part of your life. So I do think that they should have met before this moment. But it ain't my family. It ain't my husband. It ain't my business. So anyway, they go down the aisle. It's a cute little ceremony. The son was crying, and that was sweet because you could tell that boy loves his mom and everything that they've been through, the relapses, the abandonment. I'm pretty sure just emotions left and right, just the arguments, the fights, the everything else. He loves his mom, and that was just so sweet to me. He walked her down the aisle. It was just beautiful. It was cute, And so the wedding went off without a hitch. It looked like they had a nice little reception. They all, danced and got down and had a good time. He had the little room done up with the rose petals and everything on the bed when they got done. And I guess they put us out. They put the cameras out and did what they was going to do. And that was the end of them. And lastly, who we got? Oh, Sean and Sarah. Now, Sarah decided, that things were going well enough with she and Sean that she was going to let him meet mama and daughter. So when he gets there, he's got, bouquets of flowers, like 3 or 4 of them junks. And he got some toys and books for the baby. And he comes in trying to swoon them with gifts. And mama was side-eyeing Sean the whole time, as the hell she should have. She was looking at Sean like, yeah, playboy, I got you. And she got that opportunity to talk to him because Sarah took, the baby out. She said, okay, they had their little pleasantries. Now, I think I need to go on and put Abby off in the room in here. And I'm going to let you and my mom talk. So mama came out the gate swinging. Mama wanted to know, why my daughter, why all of a sudden you feel so strongly about her. You talking marriage and all this other stuff with her, and you've only known her for a few months. And on top of that, I kind of feel like, is this a game for you? Like, are you just meeting inmates and just like running game and talking to them as many as you can, and you just kind of finding one to bite, take the bait? What's up? Let me know what's good. And so Sean tries to convince her that, no, I love your daughter and it's not like that. We had a connection and XYZ, but mama not feeling him. And it's that mother's intuition, mama knows that Sean is just like, he is BSing her child. And so he leaves because he can't take the heat. He got to get out the kitchen. He leaving. And so Sarah and her mom kind of exchange words a little bit, because she kind of feels like her mom kind of went in a little too hard on him, and her mama don't feel like she did. And I don't either. Mama was like, okay, he needs to know that he ain't slick. I know the deal, and he don't have these feelings for you that fast. There's no way that this man is feeling like this, and I need to know what's going on. So apparently we learned that in the upcoming episodes that they're going to, do the do. And then all of a sudden, Sean's lies are going to start coming out. Sean was worried, and he was trying not to say too much at the house because he didn't want any of his lies to come out. But apparently at some point in this season, they will, and we'll see what happens with them. And that was that episode. I tried to make this kind of short, but y'all know I'm long-winded and I can never keep these under 20 minutes. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll be back for Ready to Love, but I probably won't do Ready to Love until tomorrow morning. So with that being said, you better go ahead and make sure you thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, share the video, share my channel. Bring everybody in on the fun, bring more family in, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good weekend. Peace.